Talking of security concerns in northern Israel, major efforts are underway to help equip local authorities and security teams with armored vehicles. So for more, we now welcome Yael Eckstein, president of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, and she joins us live from Modi'in. Yael, thank you so much for your time. So as we've heard there from my colleague Zach, we know that rocket fire from Hezbollah towards northern Israel is sadly a regular occurrence. These rockets launched, of course, from southern Lebanon. Tell us more about your involvement in helping communities in the north.
Well, it's critical now that during this time of relative quiet, we use the opportunity to get northern Israel prepared for anything that might come. So the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is placing 140 shelters at every single bus stop from 0 to 6 kilometers from the northern border. And we just distributed 9 fortified vehicles to the heads of security on Israel's northern border, because we know they are the ones who are on the ground in the field when those rockets strike homes or businesses or even open areas. They're the first ones to go and respond, and we want to make sure that they are safe.
It certainly is a remarkable initiative. Talk to us about the donations that are coming through, the response from communities, how they are reacting to this war, especially from communities abroad, your sense of what's happening.
Well, it's incredible because the fellowship's donors are mostly Christian. So as we see the news reports, the terrifying news reports of the rise in anti-Semitism across the world and how in a moment people have gone from never again to ever again, it's happening now. What we're seeing at the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is millions of Christians who stand with Israel, who are mobilizing now more than ever to have their voice heard, that they feel like it's not necessarily being heard or spoken by their governments or their representatives. And so they're turning largely to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, that through these tangible donations, they could raise their voice and say, the Jewish people will never be alone, not on our watch.
It is remarkable indeed to have that level of support that you are describing right now. As you well know, there has been the evacuation of around 80,000 residents of these communities in the north. Some, of course, have chosen to remain behind for a range of reasons, including for security reasons. Talk to us about the response you're getting from these communities with these initiatives you're involved in.
Well, we're really working with two different sets of the population from the northern border. One is those who have decided to remain behind. There are so many elderly in Kiryat Shmona, for example, that they say we would rather die in our homes than live as refugees. And so the fellowship has a soup kitchen together with Chabad that we're distributing hundreds of meals every day in Kiryat Shmona and the surrounding areas. And then we're also working with the mifunim, with the evacuees who are living at hotels, and they're lacking, many of them, the basics. And so we're working around the clock, both to help the people who have stayed behind, from the first responders, giving them these fortified vehicles, to equipping every kitot itkonenut, the civil response teams, with bulletproof vests and helmets so that they can be protected, to the people, the civilians who have stayed behind, providing them with food, to the evacuees who are living very difficult lives right now, oftentimes 6 people in a family in one room in a hotel, that they haven't been able to work. They don't know when they'll be able to return home. And so we're there with them as well, providing a little bit of hope.
And Yael, with people who are watching right now, perhaps want to show their support, get involved as well with your fellowship, how do they contact you? What do they do?
Thank you so much. So any donation is so hugely appreciated, $25 for a food box even, that they can be involved at www.ifcj.org. And I document on a daily basis the work of the fellowship on all the social media platforms, Yael Eckstein on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. So there are many ways to follow the work that we're doing.
Yael Eckstein, thank you so much for speaking to us here on I24 News, the president of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, speaking to us live from Modi'in. Thank you.